Your person wants to make peace with you, and the weight of this desire has been growing inside them for far longer than they have been willing to admit. They are reaching a breaking point where silence is no longer bearable, and the emotional distance between you, once something they convinced themselves they could handle, has become a source of daily pain. They are preparing to break their silence because the regret they carry has become too heavy to ignore. Every memory of how they treated you, every moment they acted indifferent or detached, now returns to them with painful clarity. What once seemed like self-protection or pride now feels like a mistake so large it sits in their chest like a stone. They are exhausted from pretending they don't care, exhausted from hiding the depth of their feelings, and exhausted from acting as though losing you didn't shatter something inside them. They miss you in ways they never expected to miss anyone. Your presence, which they took for granted when they had it, now echoes in every quiet moment of their life. They want another chance, not out of desperation, but out of deep realization. They've spent enough time alone with their thoughts to understand that the connection you shared was rare, meaningful, and profoundly grounding. When you were together, they acted shallow at times, responding to fear rather than truth. They held back, avoided vulnerability, and made choices that distanced their heart from yours, even when all they wanted was closeness. But now, in your absence, they feel the consequences of those choices with full force. They are miserable without you, and the bravado they once displayed has crumbled. There have been nights when the emotions became too much, and they cried over the thought of you, over what they lost, what they destroyed, and what they still secretly hope to rebuild. Losing you opened their eyes to parts of themselves they avoided for years. And seeing you reclaim your power, step back, or detach from the connection has only intensified their realization. They admire your strength even as it terrifies them. Your ability to stand on your own, to rise after everything that happened, has made them more obsessed than they ever expected to be. They think about you constantly, wondering what you feel, what you want, and whether there is still space for them in your life. The guilt they carry is something they now feel physically, like a sickness that churns in their stomach whenever they reflect on the pain they caused you. They wish they could go back and rewrite moments, choose differently, or speak honestly instead of hiding behind pride or fear. They know they hurt you, and that knowledge has become a kind of punishment they wake up with every day. They fear that if they wait any longer, they will lose their chance forever. That fear is pushing them to rush in, not impulsively, but with sincerity, because they understand now what is truly at stake. Reconciliation isn't just a hope, they see it as something vital because no one compares to you. They have searched, distracted themselves, kept busy, and tried to convince themselves they could move on, but nothing has matched the connection they had with you. No one else feels like home. No one else speaks to their soul the way you did. And now, as they reflect on everything, they realize that they don't want to live the rest of their life wondering what if. They want communication, not small talk or surface-level conversation, but real, meaningful, heart-opening communication that will allow the two of you to understand each other again. They've been manifesting you back into their life in every way their heart knows how. They replay conversations, imagine reconciliations, and picture what it would look like to hold you again, speak honestly, or start fresh. They talk themselves through possible conversations, hoping they will find the right words when the moment finally comes. They've daydreamed about your reaction, your voice, and even your smile, hoping you might still have space in your heart to hear them out. Your person is done suffering in silence. They have reached the threshold where internal turmoil becomes action. They know that transformation is required, not just words. They understand that if they want to step back into your life, they must show up differently, more mature, more honest, more emotionally present. They are preparing themselves for that moment, gathering courage, rehearsing honesty they once avoided, and accepting the vulnerability they used to fear. It is action time now. The emotional breakthrough they have been resisting for so long is finally happening, and the momentum behind it is strong. They feel the shift inside themselves, and they sense that a major breakthrough is on the way, one that could change everything between you. Whether it leads to reconciliation, renewal, or closure, they know that they cannot remain silent any longer. They are ready to step forward, ready to speak their truth, and ready, finally, to face the possibility of love again. I miss being next to you in a way that feels almost indescribable. There's a particular kind of peace that settles over me when you're close, a calmness that no one else has ever been able to bring into my life. The way you love me, gently yet deeply, fiercely yet tenderly, is something I had never experienced before. Sometimes I find myself looking back, regretting the moments when I didn't allow myself to fully embrace what we had, or what we could have had, because now all I want is to feel you again. I want to rest in the warmth of your presence, to exist in those quiet spaces where words aren't needed because everything already feels understood. I've always known you were different. You are not like the others who have passed through my life, leaving confusion or disappointment behind. With you, I sensed something genuine from the very beginning, something rare, something that demanded care and honesty. And that's why I'm willing to put in the work to nurture this connection. It's why I want to share everything with you, not just the easy parts of my life, but the vulnerable pieces too, the ones I usually hide away. I want you to know every thought, every dream, every fear, every hope. I want to build something real and lasting, not just something that flickers for a moment. These past days of silence between us have broken my heart more than I expected. It's strange how emptiness can feel so heavy, how the absence of your voice can echo louder than any noise. I keep wanting to reach out, wanting to close the distance, wanting to look you in the eyes and finally say what has always been true: it has always been you. No matter how complicated things became, no matter how uncertain I felt at times, no matter how guarded I tried to be, there was never anyone else who touched my heart the way you did. And there will never be. I am grateful every single day that you came into my life. I used to think true love was just a story people liked to tell themselves, a comforting illusion, a concept from movies and fairy tales that didn't exist in the real world. But then you arrived, and suddenly everything I believed began to shift. Being with you felt like waking up inside a dream I didn't even know I had. You made life feel softer, brighter, fuller. You made the ordinary feel extraordinary. You are the kind of person everyone wishes they could have in their life, the rare combination of strength and tenderness, loyalty and gentleness, clarity and compassion. You didn't just love me, you supported me. You didn't just listen, you understood. You played so many roles without even being asked: a true partner who stood beside me, a friend who never judged me, a teacher who helped me see myself in ways I never had before, and an unwavering motivator who believed in me even when I struggled to believe in myself. I am who I am becoming because you walked with me through some of my hardest moments. And I know I haven't always expressed my emotions clearly. For so long, I didn't know how. I wasn't taught to speak openly about what I feel. If anything, I learned to hide it, even from myself. Sometimes my silence was mistaken for indifference, when in truth I was overwhelmed by feelings I didn't know how to navigate. I understand why you might have thought I didn't care, why you might have questioned my intentions or my sincerity. But the real truth, the one I've been carrying quietly inside me, is that I have loved you more deeply than I have ever loved anyone. My love for you has no conditions, no limits, no situations attached to it. It isn't fragile. It isn't temporary. It isn't uncertain. It simply is. Yes, I carry childhood traumas, and those experiences have shaped the way I love, the way I communicate, the way I move through the world. Sometimes they make me hesitant, sometimes they make me fearful, and sometimes they create distance even when all I want is closeness. But please know this, my past does not diminish the truth of what I feel for you. If anything, it makes my love more real, because it requires courage, courage to open up, to trust, to allow myself to be vulnerable, to let someone see the parts of me I usually keep hidden. And you are the one person who has ever made me feel safe enough to even try. I want to rebuild what has been lost and strengthen what has always been there. I want to create something beautiful and honest, something we both deserve. I want to talk, to listen, to heal together, to understand each other more deeply than we ever have before. I want to hold your hand through every step of this journey, not out of fear of losing you, but out of love for who you are and who we can be together. Most of all, I want you to know that you matter to me, in ways that go far beyond simple words. And no matter how much time passes, no matter how many challenges we face, I will always be grateful that our paths crossed. Because meeting you didn't just change my life, it changed me. This love is unlike anything either of you has experienced before, and that truth echoes through every layer of their being. Even in moments of silence or separation, they feel you as if you were woven into the fabric of their everyday life. Distance does not weaken the connection, they sense you in subtle ways, in memories, in intuition, and in the unexplainable pull that keeps their heart aligned with yours. Their soul simply cannot forget you, no matter how much time passes or how many distractions life throws in their path. It is as though your presence has become a permanent imprint on their spirit, something that cannot fade or be replaced. Deep down, they are hoping, perhaps more than they would ever openly admit, that you will offer a sign in the physical world. Something small, something meaningful, something that lets them know you still want this relationship as strongly as you once did. They long for reassurance, for confirmation that the bond is mutual and that you feel the same gravitational pull toward them. They hold on to the hope that you might reach out, speak from your heart, or show through your actions that the love between you is just as alive as ever. This quiet longing shapes their days in profound ways, and it often keeps them suspended between optimism and vulnerability. What they crave most now is a deeper commitment, something more solid, more intentional, more emotionally grounded than what either of you may have been ready for before. This longing lives in their chest like an ache, gentle sometimes, overwhelming at others. Their nights stretch longer than they should, filled with restless thoughts and a series of tangled dreams where you appear again and again. Sleep comes in waves, but even in those brief moments of rest, their subconscious spirals back to you. The daydreams are frequent too. You drift into their mind in the middle of conversations, during lunch breaks, while they are stuck in traffic, or even while they should be focused at work. Concentration slips away because the thought of you is always stronger, always louder, always more magnetic. Sensual fantasies linger as well, intimate, emotional, deeply passionate images of what it would feel like to be with you fully, without fear or hesitation. They imagine your touch, your voice, your laughter, your presence. You are not just someone they think about, you have become the central figure in their emotional landscape. That is the honest truth. At the same time, something powerful is happening within them. As they continue to confront and heal their codependent patterns and addictive tendencies, they are becoming more emotionally balanced and clearer in their intentions. It's not an easy process, but the transformation is real and ongoing. They are learning how to show up for themselves, how to regulate their feelings, and how to take responsibility for their choices. This growth is shaping them into someone who is capable of offering a healthier, more stable love. What makes this even more compelling is the way they admire your strength throughout this journey. You have become a symbol of resilience, self-respect, and courage. Watching you embody your own strength card energy, standing firm in your worth, holding boundaries, and choosing self-growth, awakens something in them. It inspires them. It challenges them. It pulls them toward becoming a better version of themselves. The way they think about you now is infused with a new sense of accountability and maturity. You are no longer just the person they desire, you are the person who pushes them to rise. In their eyes, the two of you are a perfect match, not because you are identical, but because your energies complement, balance, and guide each other. And now, with old cycles finally coming to an end, the transformative work you both have done is opening the door to a fresh beginning. The emotional loops, the misunderstandings, the fears, the old patterns, these are closing out, making space for something more genuine and aligned. The romance between you is ready to return, but this time it carries new meaning, new depth, and new purpose. It's not just a reunion, it's a rebirth. This next phase will refuel you both, offering richer experiences, more heartfelt communication, and deeper soul lessons on the path you share. The connection is evolving into something wiser, something more conscious, something that honors both your hearts. And for them, holding back their feelings now has become more painful than expressing them. Every day they keep silent, the weight of what they feel grows heavier. They are reaching a point where their truth can no longer stay hidden. Their heart is ready, perhaps even desperate, to speak.